Hey, this is Jonathan from the band Guides, and I'm excited to be here today to talk to you about the writing and recording process for our latest batch of singles. The first song we put out last month was the song Drain, and for this batch of songs, we had the unique and awesome opportunity to work with Z-Rock, Zach Diebels from the band Simon Says. You might also know him from Key to Arson or Automatic Static. The story behind that, the background story, is that Simon Says is actually one of the first bands that I saw when I was a kid. I was 12 years old. I got to go see the band Stained. Simon Says was the opener, and when they came on stage and did their thing, it absolutely blew my mind. And that was the moment where I decided that I wanted to jump around on stage and scream into a microphone when I grew up. So it's just unthinkable and unreal to have been in the position 25 years later to get to work with Z-Rock. And it's definitely something that we cherished and didn't take for granted throughout the process. The writing process with Z-Rock, we really went back to square one. We really reset our entire creative process and reimagined our creative chemistry and how we work. And that was something that was encouraged by Z-Rock going into the process. So we really took a step back and kind of reset. Which was really good for all of us. All of the ideas and demos started with me, and really we took it one step at a time. We'd develop demos for a song using really any means that we could, whether it was live recording or MIDI, just to kind of piece the demos together. And then we would submit them to Z-Rock and get feedback on the instrumentals. And once we agreed on the direction of the instrumentals, would layer in the vocal ideas and then kind of do another pass on feedback. And once we were settled on the 3 songs that we were going to make, we kicked off pre-production, which we did remotely. Z-Rock is in Sacramento. We're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so we were definitely at a distance. So we did our pre-production mostly remotely, and kind of work through feedback on the songs for a couple months until our scheduled recording sessions that happened in Pittsburgh. The recording process from there, we brought Z-Rock into Pittsburgh. He flew in, and it actually took place over 2 separate weeks. The first week of it was solely focused on capturing the instrumentals, tracking instrumentals. We did 2 days of drums in the studio, which was very intense, and then another 2 days of guitar and bass. I guess it was really 2.5 days, and there was also half a day of just kind of pre-production before we got into the studio. It was cool because it was boot camp for us, right? And that's kind of really the approach that we took going into it. As a band, we had never been through this process at this level, especially together, and so we didn't pretend like we had been before. We definitely left our egos at the door and let Z-Rock guide the process, and it wasn't easy. I mean, we were excited to be working with someone that we consider one of our heroes and main inspirations, but it didn't mean that he was easy on us. He definitely put us through boot camp and challenged each one of us individually when it was our time to track and record. And the awesome thing to watch happen as that process played out was everyone stepped up, right? And everyone, when it was their turn, stepped up to the challenge. And I think as a band, we really, by the end of the process, had, I think, graduated to another level, and we got there as a team. It takes a team, and it's a team effort, and it was really cool to see us bond and develop that way. And I think that the product and what you hear in the end result really reflects that entire effort. So focusing on the song Drain, when we look at the meaning of the song, it's interesting with music, and I think really any art form in general, but really with lyrics and the way that they're kind of written to be a little bit more universal, the meaning of the song can evolve over time. And really that's something we saw happen in real time as we were producing and finishing the track. But the core of the meaning of the song is it's really about growth. And I think one of the more challenging things and frustrating things as an adult, and the further you kind of get into adulthood, is realizing that not everybody grows at the same rate. And for some people, they choose not to really grow at all. And when I talk about growth, I'm not talking about age or size. We're talking about emotional growth and maturity, and I think just how you kind of show up in relationships. And unfortunately, what happens is that over time, people literally grow apart, right, as they're growing in different rates. And I think that's a painful thing to experience as an adult, more so because it's you're losing people. It's harder to meet new people and grow your friend groups, right? So the song is really about my personal experiences with that idea.